endless scrolling, quick dopamine hits, temporary entertainment. But the truth is, the things you do in your free time quietly shape the man you become. Every habit you repeat either sharpens you or softens you. And the strongest men, they don't just live life, they train for it. They choose hobbies that build discipline, resilience, clarity, and control. Not because it looks impressive, but because it changes who they are from the inside out. So in this video, we're going through 20 powerful hobbies, not surface-level activities, but habits that forge something deeper, an unbreakable edge. Let's begin. Habit 1. Strength training. Not for aesthetics, for respect. Lifting weights isn't just about looking good in the mirror. It's about building a relationship with effort. When you train consistently, you prove something to yourself. That you can show up even when you don't feel like it. That you can push through resistance, physically and mentally. Over time, that creates self-respect. Not the kind you demand from others, but the kind you earn quietly. A man who trains regularly carries himself differently. Not because of his muscles, but because of what it took to build them. Habit 2. Combat sports. Boxing, MMA, Muay Thai. Nothing strips away ego faster than stepping into a controlled fight. You realize quickly that confidence without skill means nothing. That strength without technique fails. That fear doesn't go away. You just learn to move through it. Combat sports teach humility in a way few things can. You get hit, you make mistakes, you improve. And through that process, you develop real confidence. Not loud, not fake, just solid and grounded. Habit 3. Running long distances. Running long distances is a conversation with yourself. There's no shortcut, no distraction, just you. And the voice telling you to stop. Quitting feels loud in that moment. It tries to convince you. But endurance? That's silent. It builds slowly, step by step. When you finish a long run, it's not about speed. It's about who you became during it. Someone who didn't stop. Habit 4. Cold exposure, cold showers, ice baths. Cold water doesn't care how you feel. The moment it hits your skin, your body wants to escape. But when you stay, something shifts. You learn that discomfort isn't dangerous. That panic fades if you don't react to it. This carries into real life. Stress, pressure, uncertainty, they stop controlling you because you've trained yourself to stay calm, even when everything feels uncomfortable. Habit 5. Playing a musical instrument. There's something powerful about creating sound with your hands. Learning an instrument teaches patience. You can't rush it. You have to repeat, refine, and listen. But it also connects you to emotion. It gives you a way to express what words can't. It's discipline with feeling, structure with creativity. And over time, you gain control, not just over the instrument, but over yourself. Habit 6. Learning a combat-ready skill. This isn't about becoming aggressive. It's about becoming capable, whether it's self-defense, tactical awareness, or basic protection skills. You develop a sense of readiness. There's a difference between being harmless and being peaceful. A man who knows he can handle danger doesn't look for it. He simply moves through life with quiet confidence. Habit 7. Hiking alone. When you hike alone, there's nowhere to hide. No notifications, no conversations, just silence and your own thoughts. At first, it feels uncomfortable, but then something changes. You start to hear yourself more clearly. You reflect, you process, and in that space, you build a kind of mental strength that noise can never give you. Habit 8. Building something with your hands. Whether it's wood, metal, or even code, creating something from nothing changes you. You start seeing problems as challenges, not obstacles. You learn patience when things don't work. You adapt, you improve. And when it's done, you don't just have an object. You have proof that you can build, fix, and create. That rewires confidence at a deep level. Habit 9. Journaling daily. Most people go through life without ever understanding their own mind. Journaling changes that. When you write honestly, you begin to see patterns, your fears, your habits, your triggers, and once you understand your thoughts, they stop controlling you. A man who knows his own mind becomes focused, intentional, and powerful in the best way. Habit 10. Public speaking. Fear grows in the dark. Public speaking forces you into the light. At first, your voice shakes. Your mind races. You feel exposed. But the more you do it, the fear fades, and in its place comes clarity and confidence. You learn to communicate, to lead, to stand in front of others without shrinking. That skill changes every area of your life. Habit 11. Learning a new language. When you learn a new language, you don't just gain words, you gain a new way of thinking. You start seeing the world differently. You understand other perspectives. You become more adaptable. It also trains your brain. Memory, focus, discipline, all sharpen over time. And slowly, you become a more versatile version of yourself. Habit 12. Martial discipline practices. Archery, fencing, traditional arts. These practices are about precision. Every movement matters. Every breath counts. You can't rush it. You have to slow down, focus, and execute with control. Over time, this builds patience. Real patience, not forced. You become more deliberate in everything you do, more aware, more composed. Habit 13. Early morning solitude. Before the world wakes up, there's a rare kind of silence. No noise, no demands, no distractions. Spending time alone in the early morning gives you clarity. You think better, plan better, move with intention. It sets the tone for your entire day. Calm, focused, and in control. Habit 14. Reading philosophy or history. Motivation fades, but perspective lasts. Reading philosophy or history exposes you to ideas that have stood the test of time. You learn how people thought, struggled, and overcame challenges long before you. It humbles you, grounds you, and most importantly, it helps you think deeper, beyond surface-level reactions. Habit 15. Financial mastery as a hobby. Money isn't just something you earn. It's something you manage, tracking your finances, learning how to invest, understanding how money works. These are skills most people ignore. But when you treat it like a hobby, something shifts. You gain control, and with control comes freedom. Not instant wealth, but long-term stability and independence. Habit 16. Writing. Not for an audience, for truth. Writing for others can shape your voice, but writing for yourself reveals your truth. When you put your thoughts into words without filtering, you become honest. You face things you've been avoiding. You clarify what you actually believe. And that honesty builds strength, because you're no longer hiding from yourself. Habit 17. Survival skills. Fire, navigation, awareness. Modern life feels stable, but it's more fragile than we think. Learning survival skills reconnects you with reality. You understand how to navigate, how to adapt, how to stay aware of your surroundings. It builds confidence, not based on comfort, but on capability. You don't rely on systems, you rely on yourself. Habit 18. Photography or filmmaking. When you start capturing moments, you begin to see the world differently. You notice details, light, emotion, timing. You become more present. Instead of rushing through life, you observe it more deeply. And that awareness changes how you live. Slower, richer, more intentional. Habit 19. Volunteering. Quietly. Doing good without recognition builds real character. No posts, no applause, no validation, just action. Helping others in silence teaches humility. It reminds you that strength isn't just about yourself. It's about what you give. And that kind of integrity can't be faked. Habit 20. Mastering boredom. In a world full of constant stimulation, boredom feels uncomfortable. But choosing to sit in it is powerful. No phone, no distraction, just stillness. At first, your mind resists, but then it sharpens. You start thinking more clearly, observing more deeply. You realize you don't need constant input to stay focused. And that control, that's rare. None of these hobbies are about showing off. They're not about trends or attention or quick results. They're about building something internal. Discipline, awareness, resilience, control. Piece by piece, habit by habit, you become harder to break. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. If even one of these habits stood out to you, start there. You don't need to do all 20. Just begin. And if this helped you see things differently, stick around. There's more ahead that will push you even further.